Hey talkers, welcome back to Check the Facts with Qui Talks, where we talk about style, influence, and the voices shaping our communities. Today's conversation is all about something that impacts us every single day, money. But more importantly, money wellness. I am joined with Tatyana Kochergina. Say it again for me.
Yeah, well, you got it.
I knew I wasn't going to remember.
Yeah, you got it. It took me a while to pronounce myself, so you got it. I should probably stay with my middle name, but you got it.
God. Okay, so she's a financial expert, business owner, and fractional CFO who helps individuals and small businesses find financial clarity, build capital, and create long-term growth. She co-owns a construction company, manages real estate portfolios across New York and Florida, and is on a mission to empower women like us to feel confident and in control of their finances. Tati, welcome to the show.
Thank you. And I love the intro. It makes me feel empowered. I am on the right track.
Well, you are empowering.
I love it.
So let's start. How did you start this journey? You are involved in multiple businesses, from construction to real estate, to a CEO of services. So how did you get here?
Great question. I ask myself many times, and I always have different answers. So for today, so I did reflect as I was preparing for our May presentation. As you know, I'm going to be speaking in our RBW event and try to educate our audience and our members. But I think it did start early. I'll be honest. It started maybe when in your child, development. So I grew up in Russia. I'm a first generation immigrant, and I think it's an important fact. You kind of have to hustle no matter what you do, but it adds extra layer of being observative and paying attention to all the details that play a big role in the long run. But when it comes to money, I grew up in, I would say, low class. My mom was single. We were three siblings. I was the middle. I literally had to figure out and I know you were the fashion icon. So I did not have money to buy my own clothes. I always had to wear second-hand clothes from my sister. I had to figure out how it fits to my size and figure out the tailoring. So all those little skills start early on. So the seeds were planted probably in my teens, and just try to find the way how to make money. I really started working. Maybe I was 12, 13. Just little side jobs as I was in school. And as you're making the money, you understand the value, and then slowly but surely, you find a way to save and eventually figure out how you can build the worth in your own portfolio. So, it starts early. It didn't just start overnight. I think the seeds were planted probably in my teens, but I was very driven and hungry. And, if you ask, America, and I'm American, so I love this country. But if you ask, what's, your reason you come to this country, and a lot of people say different reasons. Some, religion freedom, some political reasons. There's so many different reasons. Honestly, for me, I just wanted to make a better life for myself and my kids. So I would say financial freedom was my reason. So I was always very conscious of, where to pivot, where I can save, how to educate myself. So it's not a surprise that I went to Rockland Community College for a couple of reasons. It was local. I could save money.
Yep.
And then I got my bachelor in Ramov College. And from the rest is the history. I just tried to climb the ladder and make some money and learn how to pivot.
Wow. First thing first, you finding clothes to wear. I think you're one of the best dressed in RBW. And just to say.
Thank you. I appreciate it. And I love dresses. I love dresses. Yes.
Well, it makes sense now with the hand-me-downs and then trying to find pieces to fit. So now you've learned that skill to tailor towards what looks good on you. And it looks great. So I agree with the whole story with being an immigrant, coming to America. Financial freedom is always everybody's wish and goal. And that's honestly sometimes their point. to coming to America because of my family is from Haiti. So the reason why they came here is for that same reason. So you talk about money wellness now.
Mm-hmm.
So I love this because it feels deeper than just making money. So
Yes.
what does that actually mean to you, especially with you coming here for financial freedom? So now you're pivoting from I need to make money to now this is money wellness. What does that mean?
Yes. And I'll try to put in a very simple format. And again, everything comes from my personal story, from my personal experience. And that I'm not going to say it's a new concept, but it's a format that I'm going to try to advocate and educate everyone who wants to get better with the money or the wellness. So I'm a big believer that wellness comes. It's really the body and mind. And when we say money, in many cases, I find money attached to stress. And it could be, oh, I don't have enough of that, or I'm afraid to check my checking account because what if it's overdrawn? And I've done it all. I've been there when I was, oh my God, I spent more than I make, right? So there is really that sense of how can we stay calm? So it's a lot of it more emotional attachment. But it's also, when you come and psychologically you not as attached, you make better decision in the long run. So I think my point is when it comes to wellness is more of your state of mind, and you're not running or making decision on that stress, cortisol high level stage when you, again, I don't mind if you make mistakes, but some mistakes, it can be a long road to recover. So I rather educate everyone around me how to calm themselves, bring a little bit of wellness. Maybe there's a couple of breath exercise and embrace the reality and have a plan. And again, everybody will have a different roadmap. We're all unique with our numbers, where we need to be at what point. But I think the principles we can apply the same when it comes to calmness and how we can make decisions from not the stress level, but we can connect our brain and our expectation and be okay with that, being content.
Because right now I'm at the stuck level. So the stress really, it's there.
Yes.
Especially with a newborn, getting married, and now trying to get a house. I'm like, oh my gosh. So for people like me who feel stuck, what are some of the biggest mistakes you see people making when it comes to managing their money?
All right. Well, it's a great question. And let me tell you, Q, I can relate to you. I have 2 kids. So I done daycares for 10 years. So it's funny that both of my kids 5 years apart. So I had 5 years with the first one and the second. So me and my husband would joke we had 10 years of mortgage and daycare.
Oh my God.
But let me just, for all the moms, all the parents, all of the audience who is listening, really, you have to be okay to understand that every phase of your life, you're going to have different needs.
Yeah.
And I feel for you right now, since you asked, so I'm going to try to use you as example.
Please, go ahead.
Priority right now, safety. You want to make sure everybody's safe, right? So what does that mean? That means you want to make sure everybody nutrition right, that your child provide with the best quality of food. You have a shelter. If it's a warm studio, but it's warm and cozy, that's all it takes. Because really, that the baby only knows when mom's is calm and happy. Yeah. And the rest, they don't care if it's a multiple $1 million house. They really don't, as long as they can get the love. So I think that's a good way to start.
Yep.
And maybe,
that's a good one.
I'm not saying lower your expectation. Don't get me wrong. But I understand, and I know your husband is also young and driven, just like you.
Yes.
So, and I would say, take turns. He is perhaps in the field doing his things, and then it's okay for you to perhaps maybe minimize certain areas that you used to spend in the past. Let's say going out, right? Let's take that example. Maybe you and your husband used to go once a week and spend, I don't even know, maybe let's say $100 a week on 2 of you, right? Well, maybe that $100 you need to now reallocate to a baby needs. So maybe for a year, it's not a fancy out, but you're ordering in. Let's say it's a night. So now you're shuffling this, I don't know, $80. I'm making these assumptions.
In this economy.
And this economy. So you really have to play. I think it's very important that you're not feeling stuck, because I heard you said that word. But I think you put your head mindset saying, okay, how can I reallocate? I like that word better, because it's all about how you manage your budget. And it's probably the same budget you had maybe 6 months ago before the baby arrived.
Yeah.
So there's really no magic. You have to figure out how to pivot. So just based on your needs, figure out literally what musts, what wants, and what needs to happen. And that's how you would probably spend your money.
Okay. Now I'm thinking about that, because I'm like, it is the same budget. It's just now we have an extra person, as my co-star keeps trying to get her words in as well.
Yes, she's very vocal. She said, "Mommy, I'm here. It's 3 months."
She's like, I want to talk. I want to say how much money I spent.
Exactly.
So what are 2 or 3 things that people can start doing today? Like for myself, you said for me to allocate my budget somewhere else. So what can somebody else or just like a general for everybody, 2 or 3 things you can start doing today to have better financial habits?
Absolutely. And it's a great question. And I always will tell, we receive this information daily. Sometimes it's resonate with us a little better. Depends where we are in our stage of life. So one of the biggest tip I would, and this is more for generation, because again, if you would ask me that 20 years ago, I would probably not have this as my tip number on the top 5, but subscriptions.
Really?
You would be surprised when we sign up for something. And I'll just give an example. So my family have 4, right? And I still pay for a lot of stuff for everybody. And I'm going to give you, on TV, people probably have at least 3 subscriptions. You probably have Disney. You probably have Netflix. Peacock. I mean, you name it. You have it all, right? So if you add, and the cable, if you add all, I don't know, 3, 4, 5, that's $100, maybe more. So that's one. So I would definitely, and this is just the TV. I'm not talking about your apps that you're using, maybe your health, wellness kind of apps. And there's so many little things. I used to have our Jill Cruz. She is a big fan of the Aura Ring. All of this, it's like $10 a month,
Yeah, but they add up.
It's exactly. So I would say do a little inventory of everything you and your husband, and I'm going to say accumulate worth, because you join together as being 2 individuals. And I know you guys been married for less than a couple of years. So you're still trying to figure out how to consolidate, right?
Yeah.
So figure out maybe, let's say, Spotify, right? Maybe you want to have a family plan so you don't have to use individuals. Maybe you'll put a couple of people under one plan. So just be smart with the money and consolidate when it comes to subscriptions. That would be my biggest tip for young couple. And even myself, with family of 4, there's always room to save.
Yeah. Well, that's a good one, because me and my husband, we were going through, I had a YouTube subscription.
Yes.
We both had Hulu. We both had all these different subscriptions. And I told him I'm deleting all my subscription because it doesn't make sense if you're already on the annual plan.
Exactly.
So that's actually really good.
Yeah. And I also would wanted to, put that mindset. Nothing is forever. Nothing is forever. So maybe you use the word I put on pause. Just like you put on pause your membership, let's say gym membership, right?
Yeah.
You say, well, maybe for a year, I'm going to put on pause, and when the time is right, I'll rejoin. So that way you don't feel like you have to disconnect. Maybe you have certain attachment to certain brands, but put on pause and reallocate. That's a good mindset. It will help you to move forward and save some money.
Now it won't, and it also make me feel like I'm not losing myself.
Exactly. Absolutely. So that would be one. And then, I mean, you probably heard a lot Starbucks, or, I'm not going to use Starbucks as a brand, but let's say coffee, any coffee, local shops. I don't even know, $5-6 probably, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So multiply by, let's say, 7 days a week. That's it, $50 right there.
Yeah.
So, we're talking about a couple of hundred a month.
That was me.
Sure, you can allocate that money somewhere else.
Yeah, my husband bought me a coffee maker.
Exactly. So this is, and it's a habit, right? So then you're going to get to the different routine. You're going to make that coffee. And again, nothing forever. Maybe once you're in a different level of your life, then things can change. But I would say once you, for the next maybe 6 or year, you're making a plan, those are accumulate. So you have $100 on subscription, you have a $200 on your coffee. That's your $300 just right there.
Yeah, it's true. That's so true.
Yeah.
Now, what would you say for business owners that are listening? When is the right time for them to get financial help? Like working with someone like you to be able to organize themselves?
Yeah. Well, the answer is they can start the sooner the better.
Okay.
But I'll go a little deeper. I'm going to answer your question a little differently.
Okay.
Each business owner will have a different needs. So, for example, for your business, you will probably, you say, Tati, let's look at my expenses. What's my roadmap? And you may need me only a couple of hours. You may not need my service as being fully engaged with you on a weekly business. Maybe you and I meet monthly. Maybe we'll put a little bit at the beginning up front, establish the roadmap, the design just for you. And maybe I will come as a consulting, not so much as a driver of your business. It's up to you how you're going to drive.
Makes sense.
So, you will spend a little less time, a little less money. For somebody who, let's say, have a team of 5, and maybe they have a different projects they want to accomplish during the year, maybe some of it payroll, benefits, whatever that needs is, there will be a little more time and it will cost probably a little less. But I would say initially, and I do offer discovery calls, they're actually free, complimentary, just to get the sense if I'm the right fit for the company to try to hire me. And if they feel they can save money, it's a win-win for everybody. Because at the end of the day, my job to make your business more profitable. That's my goal.
I like that. Now, is this something that you offer only when you're booking a client, or is this like a free download on your website automatically?
So that's a great question again. I am not quite there yet, but I am learning a lot from our network group, and you did a great presentation on social media, how to attract and find your clients. So for me, it's a work in progress, but something that I am looking to add to my website. And perhaps maybe, I know May 11, I believe that's the date, or 13. I have to check. And we can post on your social media the flyer. Hopefully by that day, I will have something free download for the listeners.
Because I definitely would do that, especially with you advocating for women and saying women are definitely one of those who are afraid of money, honestly.
Yeah.
So why do you think financial confidence is such a challenge for so many women?
I honestly feel there's a couple of reasons why. Some of it's back history. If you remember, majority in finance field used to be a male. Making the change. I'm not saying we're not growing, but just like with everything, we were not the first one to vote. There was a lot of freedom that comes with the vote. Same as financial. We were. There was a belief from society that the man is the provider and the female is staying home and raising the children, which no longer the case. As you know, right now, you have to have 2 income to sustain your day-to-day needs. Things change. And I feel the more we see the females on the field making the money, they become more confident. So it is, we're in the right direction. But the more tools we can gain and boost each other confidence in that area, I think we can succeed even faster collectively as a female. So we're trying to catch up. We're not quite there yet.
So how I honestly wish that I could stay at home and just be okay and take care of the baby. But financially, we wouldn't be able to, because I thought about it and I was like, do I really want to become a stay-at-home mom? But then I realized I love to go shopping, and I can't I can't depend on it.
And I have to tell you again, you'll hear a lot of stories when the mom would stay home, and then let's say the kids would go to middle school, and they become middle high schools, they have more time and they go back to the workforce. So it's all depends where you are in your life. So, and I also know your personality. I think you like to have it all, but everybody's different. And let's put it this way: even if you don't work and you run PTA for school, as a president of PTA, you need to know how to manage that budget. It does not matter if you support nonprofit organization or you work for a profit and generate revenue. Those skills are priceless, and they will serve you for the rest of your life.
Tati, I could talk about money with you all day because I have so many questions about money, because money has actually been my kryptonite. Because I spend, and then I look at it, then I check the bank accounts, and I'm like, oh my God, I can't. Let me try to scratch 2 pennies together and see if I can make $1 million real quick.
Yes.
But let's end this conversation with something fun. So you touched on something that you mentioned, presentation and packaging, right? How does personal style or branding tie into financial success and influence?
Oh my God, I love you ask that, because you did compliment on the dresses, and I take it to heart, because thank you for noticing. So to me, you dress for success. I love that quote. And I know we in a different generation, we say, well, we don't judge the book by its covers, but I think we do. Before we open our mouth, before I gain that trust, the first impression, it's a visual impression. And if you put together, that's your package. People will feel, well, she took a little extra time to coordinate her colors, or, I mean, I don't have a jewelry, but, she will well put together. Like there's certain words attached to certain images that kind of gives you, it's almost like a business card.
Yeah.
So I feel strongly that how you package yourself will set you for the success, and kind of send the right message to the audience that you try to attract, really.
I love that. That is perfect. People will notice that little extra time that you took, and they will definitely reward. I like that. Okay.
Yes.
Presentation and package. That's a new one. I'm definitely going to steal that one.
All right. Very good.
So tell everyone, how can they connect with you and be able to chat more with you and see what else you offer?
Excellent. Great question. So as I mentioned, I am developing a new website. I have the money. I have the money. I have the great name. It's not, I would say the best way, go to Balance with TK, Instagram or Facebook. So social media, Balance with TK, and then you will see lots of information when it comes to money, wellness, or just in general, all about me, what I do, and what I'm up to.
Well, one thing I'll tell you, Balance with TK is a perfect name for everything you do. So for those who don't know, Tati is my hiking buddy. So being a hiking buddy, a mental wellness coach, and then being able to go into financial, that's like a perfect name across the board, Balance with TK.
Thank you so much. Yes, see? You. And we need to do the walk with your assistant.
Yes, my co-host, she's definitely coming with us. And I've been walking a lot, so definitely.
Oh, excellent. And just to add another tip, when you say, so hiking, walking, that's your zero expense to your fitness. So be mindful of that.
Yes. You don't have to go to the gym.
You're on the right track, my friend. You don't need the gym.
Slowly but surely, working towards my millions.
Exactly. There's ways to save, always.
I love this. Thank you so much, Tati.
Oh, thank you. And we'll stay connected, and I appreciate all the great questions.
Absolutely. So I love this conversation because it reminds us that money is just not about numbers.
No.
It's about confidence, clarity, and creating a life that actually works for you. So Tati, thank you so much for joining us and sharing your knowledge. And to everyone listening, if this episode helped you rethink about your relationship with money, make sure you share it with someone who needs it. This is Check the Facts with Qui Talks, where we talk about style, influence, and the voices shaping our community. Till next time, you guys. Bye.
Bye, everyone. Thank you, Q.
Bye.
Bye-bye.